team playing as the Philippines, which actually have Filipino and Spanish primary cultures, which gives them European and Southeast Asian heritage, which is kind of interesting. Lets us fast incorporate the states over here in Indonesia and Burma and stuff, but it would also let us quickly incorporate states in Europe. We're going to be mostly sticking to Southeast Asia for this run, though, and maybe parts of Oceania. That seems like pretty natural areas to expand. I'm going to start out by researching stock exchange into atmospheric engine. We'll go up to high taxes, because that's always a good way to get more money, and then low government wages is also a good way to get more money. Actually, very low government wages, I mean. We'll swap to whatever the most legitimate government is. Get the church and government. Interestingly, as a Spanish colony, we have pious landowners, which means it's going to be very hard to pass public schools, but it's going to be very easy to pass public health insurance, for example. So going pharmaceuticals early might be a good idea. Might actually be our next tech we want to go after atmospheric engine. I think that's going to be pretty solid. I'm also going to start by building 2 construction sectors. I actually haven't checked what resources we start out with here. We actually have good iron. Do we have any coal or anything? We do have some in the middle of our country. Okay, we have decent resources, actually. Since we started as a colony, we cannot declare our own wars, so we want to try to get independence or at least increase autonomy as fast as possible. I don't think there's really a point in going increase autonomy, though, so I think we will just be trying to rush independence from Spain. I think there would be a good, decent argument if you didn't lose the Spanish, or if you lost it when you got independence, but since you don't lose Spanish primary culture when you get independence, there's not too much of a downside to getting independence, except for leaving the Spanish market. I guess we do lose out on the ability to roll sovereignists on our petite bourgeoisie and intelligentsia, but we can try to roll these right before we get independence, maybe, and hopefully they'll just survive for long enough. Yeah, Spain's going to reject our proposal, I believe, and then they should also reject this proposal, and then we're also going to start damaging relations with Spain, because we want to keep our Libizar gain up. At this rate, we should be able to get independence in roughly or we should be able to request increased autonomy in roughly a year, and then roughly a year from there, we should be able to declare independence, I believe. Might want to try to get some independent supporters, so you will want to try to look at who dislikes Spain. There isn't really anyone huge, but we might want to try to get the Netherlands or some of the Italians on our side for independence. That could help us out a little bit, I guess. We'll start improving relations with the Netherlands, and I guess we don't have an interest yet in Sardinia Piedmont, but once we do, we'll start improving relations with them and Two Sicilies as well, and hopefully we can get some of these countries to support our independence to make our independence war a little bit easier, / give us more Libizar faster. Spain doesn't have a big enough navy to land us, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I guess we should use some of our authority on various decrees. Social mobility seems kind of valuable, and then I guess we'll also do some other decrees, because I don't think we really want to get the extra enactment time. I think more decrees will be more valuable. So Sardinia Piedmont is already willing to support our independence, so we'll take that, along with Two Sicilies. That's going to be very nice for our liberty desire. Point 1. Netherlands, how close are they? They are cautious towards us, so they're a little bit away from being willing to support our independence. Alright. Here we can now request increased autonomy, because we've gotten enough liberty desire. That brings us up to 85. Looks like we're getting minus 0.25 from having too high of liberty desire right now, so it's going up only 0.1 a week, which is not ideal, but in about a year, we should be able to declare independence. You need at least 90 liberty desire to declare independence instead of simply increased autonomy, which there isn't really much of a point. I mean, becoming Dominion would be fine, but we still have to pay 25% of our income to Spain, which is quite a lot. We're going into a little bit too much debt, so I'm going to put on a consumption tax on tobacco. Okay, looks like we're barely losing money still. Maybe we put a consumption tax on luxury clothes as well. It's not that much money, but it'll help us out a little bit. Trying to equalize things. No, we're still losing quite a bit of money, actually. I'm just going to pause construction for a little bit so we don't start interest spiraling. Well, that is unfortunate. Spain just started evangelizing to us, which just decreased our liberty desire quite a bit. I'm going to bring the petite bourgeoisie into government, and bring the royal folk in as well, and we're going to start trying to pass per capita taxation, because that'll earn us quite a bit more money. Kind of a tough choice between 20% enactment chance and 20% loyalists, but I think the loyalists are going to be a little bit better. That is a lot of loyalists we get there. Apparently there's Han people living in our state, so we're getting opium addiction events. Interesting. I did not know that there was Han people that lived in the Philippines. Okay, there's 7,500. I'm surprised that the event can trigger with that few people. Okay, passed per capita tax. That made our budget go from like positive 2.5k to positive 6.9k, so that's like a 4k increase in our money. We're getting very close to being able to declare independence from Spain here. We just need one more liberty desire, which should take under 20 weeks. Okay, I've hit 90 liveries there, so I should be able to declare independence. We'll see if we can sway anyone in. If we can, sway anyone huge in. It looks like we can't, but if we could, then what we'd want to kind of do is try to take Asturias for the Great Company, but it looks like we can't really sway anyone like France into this play. Oh, it's in Indonesia. That would explain why we don't really have too many sway options. If it was in Spain or whatever, then we might have some more options, but here it looks like we can only really sway the Dutch East Indies. We don't really want their help, I think. I think we can just defend ourselves. Um, Now, is there anything we would really want to add against Spain? I don't think that there's anything that we can easily enforce. I think these islands are in the Iberia strategic region, so Spain should be able to easily defend against them. I mean, like, we could maybe technically take Al Rif, but what use would, or Melilla, but what use would taking Melilla really give us? So I think we're just going to take nothing in this independence war. Unfortunately, they didn't add any war goals against us, which means we need to be very careful to not have too many, deaths, or else what's actually going to happen is we're going to capitulate. Even though we have our independence war goal, it won't stop us from capitulating. It will just make Spain capitulate. So we need to avoid getting too much war support drop. Luckily, Spain is trying a bunch of naval invasions on our countries we have supporting our independence of Sardinia, Piedmont, and two Sicilies. So their capitulation is going pretty quickly. Also running a pretty good balance, so we can afford an extra construction sector, I think. And then we'll try to start solving these shortages by building up various things. We want one coal mine in case once we unlock atmospheric engine. It looks like we also are going to need an arms industry. We can probably just try to import some arms for now, though. So Spain has occupied Piedmont successfully, which is very unfortunate. Could we do something like this as our peace deal? No. How about this? So we can give up Sardinia Piedmont for our independence. I think that this is going to be what we have to do, because I think this is pretty much what's going to get enforced if we continue the war anyway. Unfortunate to expand Spain, but I mean, you like never see this happen. Kind of interesting, you know? Okay, now that we're independent, we no longer have to pay Spain 30% of your income. Yes, you do actually secretly pay that even while you're in your independence war, so we can now afford quite a bit more construction. So I wanted to declare a war against these guys, but it turns out we have too good of relations. Oh, we have too good of relations against all of these guys. Oh, that's actually really annoying. Well, we're going to start damaging relations with all these guys. I guess we'll declare on Belungen, because they're the closest guy that we do actually have low enough relations with to declare on. I guess we won't force the Diplo play. We'll let them give us the state if they want. Okay, they don't want to give us the state, so we'll add a full annex. We're going to need a bit of a bigger navy if we want to try to land these guys, or we could wait for lower relations on these other guys, but I think it's going to take a little bit too long. Oh, we do need to import mana wars for this. Looks like we have a game where Britain just didn't attack China for the opium wars, because China's only got 4 years left on widespread opium addiction, and Britain is yet to declare the play. They have bad attitude with China, though, so, weird. Maybe Britain just is waiting a while? Declare war on Kutai as well. We just want to declare on various people in the Southeast Asia region. We'll take away our interest in Italy and move it into Indochina, because these countries also have Southeast Asian heritage, I believe, so we can accept their pops. We finished up having 3 boats, so I'm going to split off 3 line infantry battalions, and I'm going to start a naval invasion against Belungen. I think we should be able to successfully land with 3 line infantry troops against 5 irregulars. Yep, okay, we're very easily able to land Belungen, it looks like. Yep, okay, we're into Belungen now. Let's maybe hire 1 more general to make the push go by a little bit faster. They should be capping at, like, max speed. We do want to enforce all full concord. Okay, we got the full country occupied, so it instant capitulated. Now we can go on the front with Kutai. Hopefully before they occupy us. Yes, we do. And even though the advantage is fairly low, we should have an overwhelming advantage just due to, like, lower morale loss on our troops and stuff. Like, we have plus 10 and they have plus 15. There's a lot of advantages that don't show up in this about having better troop quality. I guess I'll go invade Bali next. We just kind of need stuff to invade. I guess we could have invaded one of these guys over here in, like, the Malaya region. I don't know. I'm going to turn on atmospheric engine here, and that should... yeah, that will reduce our prices on stuff. We do have a slight coal shortage for now, but we should be able to get that up in our state here of Visayas. We have a tool shortage, actually, but that should go away, right? Surely tools should be pretty profitable. Yeah, tools are... okay, we actually need a new tooling workshop. Put that in the queue here, because we are very much lacking on tools. We've got a lobby demand to declare rivalry with Belgium. Sure. I don't really care too much about Belgium, so might as well get the influence from rivaling them, as well as the approval on that Dutch lobby, which is the petite bourgeoisie. 11% of our clout, not nothing. Although they are already pretty happy right now. We're already on pro-army, interesting. I want to try to pass some colonial law here. That could be pretty solid. Let's go for a pass on colonial exploitation. I'm going to invade Perak. That should let us get a connection on land to Siam, which could be useful. Siam doesn't have that much of a stronger army than us, so we could actually like try to invade Siam somewhat soon. The church are plotting a coup to establish a theocracy. Level up education institution to level 2. You want to get a little bit more literacy. 34% isn't great. I just realized we haven't actually invaded Perak. We should go for a quick little invasion on Perak. But also, we should go invade Sulu now, because our relations just got below 20, so we can now invade these guys and conquer their 3 states. That'll finish off part of our Philippines. We also need Mindanao. I was going to try to pronounce the country, but I realized that was like impossible, so I just tried to pronounce the state. Looks like our invasion on Malaya is going well. Yep, we just took over a little bit of Malaya here. That's nice. Now these 3 troops can go on the other front of Sulu, I guess. Okay, well, that's not good. We're going to give up on passing colonial exploitation. We're going to go colonial resettlement, I guess, instead. Yeah, let's not give the, what's it called, the Dutch East Indies an obligation if the coup succeeds. That doesn't seem very useful. Yeah, I'm going to take over Mindanao now. That sounds like a better way to pronounce it to me. I don't know. The Dutch East Indies might side against us here. They have more power protection than us, but we can probably conscript to a white peace with enlistment efforts or something. Probably. So for a little bit, I was very confused about why Sulu wasn't capitulating, but I realized they've got this tiny little bit of territory here, which we should be able to reach after we invade Mindanao. Okay, war with Mindanao started, so I'm going to invade Brunei next. That'll give us, northeast Borneo and the Philippines fully conquered, which seems like fairly solid borders to start out with. Oh, this is not good. We'll get the coup advancing, I guess. Oh, colonial resettlement stalled or something? We need to just start making the church happy so they don't do this to us. Let's start fake passing monarchy, or no, let's start fake passing theocracy. I should make them really happy and hopefully solve our problems. Soon we'll be getting pharmaceuticals, which will be a good law that we actually want to pass for the church. Okay, Brunei has been annexed. We're actually going to start incorporating now a little bit. That is putting our bureaucracy pretty badly, but I do have some government administrations in the queue. Oh, we should upgrade to filing cabinets. That should help solve it a little bit as well, although we now have a big paper shortage, so I guess we'll import paper temporarily, but that does give us even more bureaucracy issues. Oh, we need to delete trade routes. We've stolen a bunch of trade routes from various countries we've annexed, which is a bit of a problem. That should be a little bit better. Yeah, something like this. We really don't need a lot of these trade routes. Okay, that's better. Now running positive bureaucracy, which gives us a bit better budget, probably. Yeah. Burma and Dynam versus the East India Company. Yeah, I don't think the East India Company is going to be losing this one. Luckily, Burma does actually back down, though, so there's going to be less states that East India Company has in this region, which we do want to try to minimize that if possible. I wanted to invade Siam, but apparently they're allied to the French, so that's not going to work out. Do they have anyone who could attack with them? Looks like not really. Maybe we try to start befriending the French so they won't stop us from invading Siam, because that is going to be a little bit of a stop to where we can invade. I guess we'll try to take over the rest of Malaya. There really isn't too much we can do. Oh, even this is guaranteed by France. Okay, we'll go for Selangor. Please don't be guaranteed by France, bro. You're actually kidding me. Well, I guess Aceh is really the last country we can invade that's in the, like, Southeast Asia-ish region without having to, deal with fighting great powers. I mean, we could go for Hawaii, I guess. That is, maybe somewhat reasonable. Because other than that, basically our next option would be, like, going for Transvaal or something. If we can't really invade any of these guys due to French guarantees or defensive pacts. 25% education access is real nice. That also gives us nearly a 100% success chance on theocracy, so we're going to want to start canceling that, because that is not going to be something that we really want to go through with. Maybe we'll start passing monarchy now. We just want to keep the church somewhat happy so that we don't keep getting this coup going. Wow, we're actually winning a 3v9 naval invasion. The power of line infantry versus the other stuff. Also, how do we have 20 offense? Is this general? Oh, Guess you got open terrain commander general, taking away the disadvantage from being on a difficult landing. No, what? We had negative 15%. I guess our troops have 15% from their experience levels. Yeah, they're veterans. Okay, that makes some sense then. How close are we to public health insurance? We're still fairly far away. I think we will tech spread banking to make it a little bit closer. But after this, we do want to go into railways and water tube. I'm going to try to invade Dainam through Cambodia, because I'm guessing they're not going to protect the state, who should be good. Oh, Dutch East Indies might side in here. I don't think that's going to be too big of a deal. I think we can probably beat their army with conscription if that does happen. I doubt that they will join in, though. We're going to try to wait to add in these states. Oh, we don't actually have enough maneuvers to full annex Dainam. That is unfortunate. I guess we'll have to not take one of their states. For border reasons, we'd kind of like it to be Tonkin, but what's their lowest GDP state? It's going to be Annam. I guess we'll just not take Tonkin. Unfortunately, we don't have quite enough maneuvers to do a full annex. Okay, now that we're actually looking at the play, Dutch East Indies doesn't really want to join. It looks like the Dutch East Indies has declared independence, so I'm going to go for Mekong and Annam now. Okay, I'm going to start a naval invasion on Cambodia. That should go pretty well, I think. We've got a third of the troops, but we've got line infantry versus irregulars, so yeah, we're winning. Nice. Oh no, we're losing this battle. Uh-oh. Dang. That's unfortunate. We're gonna need to get like a new set of 6 guys or something, probably, in order to land. Yeah, let's cancel this landing and try to get 6 new line infantry battalions that we can try to land with so that we don't have huge manpower issues. And they should have huge manpower issues because we did damage their troops quite a lot in that previous thing. Yeah, these troops are only like half manpower now, so we should have a pretty easy landing this time. It's like we're kind of running a positive balance in both our balance and investment pools, so we're going to need a bit more construction. I guess we'll build up to the cap in Luzon. I want to build some more ports for infrastructure here. Railways are probably pretty soon. Oh yeah, we do have the ability to pass healthcare now, so let's start doing that. That's going to be good. Okay, we've landed in Cambodia, so we'll now send most of our army into this landing, except maybe let's make the 6-stack try to land Tonkin to end the war a little bit faster, because they should be distracted by that a little bit. Yeah, they're bringing up 24 guys to try to defend. Seems a little overkill. You have 47,000 manpower coming down here. We should be able to win this, I'm pretty sure. Oh, minus 11. Okay, let's put some enlistment efforts down to ensure our victory. I don't actually know if the state's better or the state's better. Yeah, okay, looks like the middle state is going to be better. We will just conscript up like 50 line infantry and 26 mobile artillery, and that should be good to have us win this war. Yeah, the front is quickly going into our advantage now. Netherlands proposes mutual foreign investment rights. That's kind of interesting. I don't think we want to do it, though. We are going to be invading the Dutch East Indies soon. I think we're going to do a liberate on them this game. I've transferred the Dutch East Indies in a couple of campaigns, but I think it's going to be, fun to try out liberating them and then conquering their subjects. It is unfortunate that Java does get recognition. Otherwise, I think that would definitely be the better solution. I think since that's not the case, it's probably not too great to do it. Netherlands offers us a defensive pact. I kind of forget, can they sway against you if you have a defensive pact with them? I feel like they can't. I think I remember noticing this in some video. Yeah, so we're going to take the defensive pact to the Netherlands, I think, because I think they might not be allowed to sway against us with a guarantee of independence if we have a defensive pact. Is this a thing? I can't remember. The offer is an alliance. I know for sure an alliance means we can declare on Bhutan and be safe. Okay. That's good. Why did they do that? We have a lobby opportunity for investment rights, but I don't know why they're giving us alliance. I guess we did improve to plus 50, and now they're genial. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll go for Bhutan, I guess. It looks like Qing is somewhat likely to intervene. But Qing does still have the widespread opium addiction thing, because I guess they just never banned opium. That explains why Britain didn't declare war on them. Okay. Why would they just never ban opium? What? That's so weird. They didn't click the thing to not ban opium at the beginning. They just didn't ban it ever. Anyway, we finished our war with Vietnam. We can start incorporating these states. Since we're Southeast Asian, we can incorporate them fairly quickly. But yeah, we should definitely demobilize this army. It's costing us way too much money that we do not have. So let's stop wasting all of our money, and instead, let's start naval invading Bhutan. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe I should call it Bhutan because other I don't know. No, I need to be able to separate this from Bhutan. I don't know how. Butuan? I don't know, but that isn't even how it's pronounced. I have no or spelled. I don't know. Actually, probably maybe button. I don't know. There's a civil war in Belgium. Maybe we can side with the revolt because we were. Oh, they're disinterested in us. We can get an obligation or a defensive pact, or I mean a diplo pact of bankroll. Yeah, we'll take a bankroll from Belgium. Oh, let's not fight every great power in the world. Actually, that sounds like a bad idea. They passed public health insurance. I think maybe we should have waited a little bit longer to pass this because we have not enough bureaucracy for this right now. Trying to build up as much bureaucracy as I can. We are actually kind of lacking infrastructure in our states right now, which is pretty bad. Also, our budget is terrible. We have like a lot of investment pool though, which is, kind of not great. We need to lose some of these construction sectors outside of Luzon because they're just kind of useless with no one employed in them, wasting infra. We're gonna stop constructing for a while after these government administrations, I think. Try to solve this budget. Yeah, I guess we should try to finish off Bali. That would be good. We have 2 6 stacks, so that should be enough. We cycle between these to beat a 22 stack of irregulars. Shouldn't be able to be at the first try, I think. Unless, I guess infra might be low enough that the battle width doesn't go full. Yeah, battle width is not full, at least on hills, combat width of 0.6 times. So we do get a victory on the first attempt, but probably won't get a full annex to this army, and we'll have to go to the next one. Actually, maybe we will. We only lost 400 deaths in that battle. That's really not bad. 700 deaths and wounded. Well, we're actually just winning 2 battles in a row here. That's real good. Okay, we've unlocked railways. The private queue is unfortunately not building them, but I'm gonna, I guess, put a few in the queue, even though we are lacking money to really afford this. We'll start building some railways and subsidizing them, I guess. We're gonna need to import motors and stuff, but it should be fine. We get our first national movement, the Khmer National Movement. It shouldn't be too radical though, because they're in our culture group. The Netherlands with a trade agreement, sure. We really kind of want to liberate the Dutch East Indies, but I think we can wait on that. They got a defensive pact with France, but we won't be invading these guys directly anyway, so that doesn't really mean anything. Who are the Netherlands' allies other than us? Oyo, so that's like nothing. It's just really just Oyo. So we could probably take them on somewhat soon, actually. What's their power production combined with the Dutch East Indies? Take a look at that. They've got 750. Dutch East Indies has 600. We've got around 1,000. And we have a land border with them now that we own the Philippine Sunda Islands. We already went in Borneo, but that doesn't matter because their capital is West Java, which is what we need to occupy. Maybe we do just break our alliance with the Dutch. I think we might wait a little bit, but I think that's going to be a good long-term plan. If I just unallied the Dutch, we're going to invade Hawaii, I guess. And once our infamy goes back down to 0 after this, it should be roughly time to invade the Dutch East Indies. Or not quite, but it'll be close. I guess we'll have to do like one more war. No, Britain is allied to Portugal, so we can't invade Portugal for their little bit here. The Dutch East Indies just declared war on one of their subjects here. Interesting. We could side on either side of this play, and that could be somewhat reasonable. What could we get if we side with the Dutch East Indies? And we could conquer one of their subjects. If I don't think we can liberate subject is the main thing with not siding with Dutch East Indies, Don't really want to do this. We could get like West Java or whatever, but I just want to liberate the Dutch East Indies and maybe conquer 2 of their Javan provinces. I think if we conquer all 3, their capital will move, and then it'll just be Java in a different state. So we want to leave at least one, probably East Java. In 4 months, our truce with the Netherlands runs out. We are getting pretty close to hitting 0 infamy. We're going to hit a little bit before our truce runs out, but we're just going to tank the 0 infamy for a couple months. It's only going to be losing like 1 infamy or something. So the Netherlands have a defensive pact with USA, which is not very nice, but they also have a defensive pact with Oyo. So I think I'm going to put an interest in Niger, and we're going to try to attack Oyo and hopefully fight the Dutch that way so that we don't have to fight the USA, which is, a little bit too strong for us right now. I'll declare, if we declare for investment rights, are they likely to back down? They shouldn't be, right? Because the Netherlands is fairly strong. They should not be that scared, I think, once the Netherlands side with them. Okay, Netherlands sides in. We're going to do liberate Dutch East Indies, conquer West Java. Oh, not conquer. I didn't mean to conquer East, but sure. We'll keep them with Central Java instead of East Java. That seems just equally good, I guess. And then we'll also take Dutch East Indies war operations. Now we're going to mobilize our armies and try to go to the various fronts here against the Dutch East Indies. And I think we're going to try to change our decrees down in order to have more conscription decrees because we need them. Um, enlistment efforts over here in Vietnam are going to be pretty essential. Take away some resource industry decrees. We can go this. I guess we can do our names back there. And where's our stuff holding like this front? We want more line infantry conscripts here. We want more line infantry conscripts holding this front. We just cannot afford to lose anything, really. I think we're gonna just go to land West Java here, and then we should just be fine from there. Our navy is actually a little bit far away because of Hawaii, but assuming that they don't get their navy back here in time, we should just be able to land West Java, and then we can move our armies that are in the Sunda Islands right now to try to defend our occupation of Java. I think they have war exercises of their war goal against us. Yeah, okay, we're gonna move these armies because this territory is irrelevant to defend, really. It was just so we have a connection to Java. But now we've got the West Java, we can just hold that and we should be good. Because I'm pretty sure that should enforce all of our war goals against the Netherlands to occupy West Java. Yeah, it does. Okay, we now occupied Central Java as well, pushing out in this direction a little bit, which is kind of nice. We managed to get one battle in here. Now we need to go defense, looks like. That front is not going well. I might just set this army like 4 general advance so we can push all the way through Sumatra, and then this army can help defend West Java, probably. We should be able to push all the way through before they can push all the way through, given we've got a 90 advantage versus a 50 advantage on the other front. Oh no, we're getting pushed super badly in Borneo. That is very bad. We need to try to use something. Let's split off like a 1 stack from one of you guys and... Oh no, these armies aren't even... What? Why was I couldn't see the upgrade all units button, unfortunately. That's not good that those units were like that, but yeah, we need to try to land their occupations on us, or else we are just going to start capping, which is very bad. I think the Occupy Sumatra strats is just not going to work, so we're going to keep however much we need on this side of the front, which is going to be like 6k manpower. Okay, we'll keep like 7, or let's see how much manpower you guys have. Not too much. Okay, we're going to keep all the normal line infantry on this front, but then the rest of this army is just going to have to go defend Java, because yeah, on this side we got a lot of stuff to defend against. This is real bad. We need to upgrade all units also. Yeah, let's do that. Keep everyone on defense for the most part here, I think. They've got 3 guys defending landings. Dang, that's very bad. Like when we stopped our landing, they stopped defending landings. What tech did we just research? Water tube boiler, I guess. Maybe we should go general staff. Let's go mechanized workshops, I guess. That seems fine. Let's try to go for the landing. No, not on that. For this real quick. And hopefully they don't retry to defend. Yeah, they aren't seemingly going to defend, so we should really land this, hopefully. And then be good. Once we get this, shouldn't be able to cap anymore. Yes, we can't, I believe. Yes, we cannot. Okay, we're good. We should hold West Java and we're good. Okay, we finished occupying them in Borneo, which means we should be completely safe from capitulating at this point without naval invasion at least. I don't know where the Dutch 31 fleet is, but I'm perfectly fine with it not being near us. Okay, the Dutch are about to capitulate. Yep, now we can just white peace Oyo or whatever. Now we get the East Indies, which should become Java in a second here. And assuming they're at peace, which they are. Yep, they just became Java. Okay. I guess they occupied all their Sumatran subjects or whatever, so nothing in Sumatra went away, but... Oh, actually, they, like, lost very little, but they're also an insignificant power now, so it'll be pretty easy to subjugate in a future war, or just conquer all their states. Should be pretty easy. Be fairly small. GDP went down a lot, probably mostly because they lost some of their biggest states, and I guess they also lost their market that they were in. West Java's going to be a real nice state. I think it's got decent resources. Doesn't have any iron, but other than that, pretty good resources. We have literally 0 hardwood production in our nation. We should probably swap up hardwood on something so that we not focus hardwood. Let's just do regular hardwood production on something. And that should help us out a little bit in terms of like being able to use luxury furniture production and stuff, which is usually a good idea. We should probably go to steel tools at some point. We can go sulfite pulping. I think we've got sulfur somewhere in our country. I actually swapped up. Yeah, we have sulfur somewhere. We just need to employ up. Yeah, very productive all of a sudden. I'm gonna start building some logging camps, or actually we need infra. Let's build a railway there, and then some logging camps, and I guess we'll also do some fishing wharves. Bruh, Java still has a defensive pact with the Dutch and the French? That's crazy. This is a terrible flood happening here in Vietnam. Negative 20% MAPI, negative 20% infrastructure, negative 20% agriculture throughput, plus 10% goods consumption per peasants. Means, yeah, these guys, probably not doing too well. Only like 7 or 8 SOL, which is pretty bad. They're dropping in pop. A negative 2% a year is insane. Oh, they have huge devastation from being occupied? Oh, okay, that explains why they're losing 2% a year, but still, SOL is a little bit low. Wait, what? The peasants over here have like the same? What? Did the flood just start and these people... No, these people... How are these people earning so much? What? How is their SOL actually like similar? I'm not really sure. Maybe the negative MAPI is actually helping them because no, but these states have like super low agriculture throughput, so it shouldn't be, I'd think. I guess prices are actually lower than market average. Wow. Oh, the Great Krakatoa eruption has hit us. This is terrible. Yeah, we get 2,600 government expenses. 5 legitimacy, and get some devastation. I'm starting to level up our healthcare institution. That's going to be pretty valuable. I might want to start incorporating all of our states. We can also swap up some more, or build some more government administration so that we can actually continue to level up our healthcare. It looks like we need Annam, and West Java has such terrible construction efficiency because we got infinite devastation here from that event. It claims to give you like 30%, but it actually gave me like 100%. Or I guess we occupied it too. I don't know. I feel like it should be not at 100. This is like terrible for this state. If you look at the top growth, negative 270,000 a year. We should also turn on standardized filing system. I guess that'll help out a little bit. Central archives here, very nice. Let's take the identification documents, tech progress. I guess the bureaucracy wouldn't really do much of anything. My my construction sectors aren't blowing up. Do we have the inability for people to work in construction sectors due to our law? Does national supremacy actually block them? Dang, I need to look at this real quick. Okay, they are. So we need to either get off of state religion or national supremacy. Getting off state religion might be doable with passing like freedom of conscience here. It doesn't look that bad. 5 to 14, like racial segregation is pretty easy to pass, but I do kind of want to go multiculturalism. It's only at 7% success right now, and slavery banning is going to be a little bit tricky for that. Yeah, maybe we should go racial seg here. It's going to make it harder. It's going to make it so much harder to pass multiculturalism, though. Yeah, we'll just go racial seg. Who needs multiculturalism? Although there are actually a bunch of Catholic pops here that should definitely be able to work in the construction sectors, but they just kind of aren't. They're working in the sub-farms for some reason. Why is our qualifications so bad here? It doesn't make any sense. What qualifications are we lacking for our construction sectors, for example? Like bureaucrats? What's the qualifications growth on? Do we have just like no literacy here? I guess you probably just have like no literacy, but it is incorporated, so the literacy should be going up kind of fast. Should just put on a social mobility degree, maybe. Yeah, they lost their alliance with the Netherlands in exchange for an alliance with Selangor, which is no longer having a guarantee from France. Nice. Okay, that's very good for us. I'm gonna go for a conquest on Selangor here. Java's gonna join against us. And hopefully we can defeat the Selangorians. And we'll be able to annex some stuff from Java as well. Okay, Java slided into the play. We're gonna try to wait to add more stuff till France declares neutrality, hopefully, because they are only negative 11. We do need to mobilize more to the fronts, especially in Java, because we're gonna try to capitulate the Javanese as fast as we can. Make sure to raise all available conscripts. Go on all the important fronts. I mean, really, just this Java front is the only hyper important front, I think. Okay, the French did end up declaring neutrality in time. We're gonna go for Central Java. I'm gonna go for North Sumatra. Where's that? There it is. Okay, good, good, good. Go for South Sumatra. Go for Javanese East Borneo. And I think that's going to be all of our maneuvers spent. Able to occupy Java fairly easily. We've got a huge advantage on this front here. So should be able to occupy Java. And then we also have huge advantage occupying Selangor. Johor, I think, lost their France guarantee as well, so we can go for them too. Any real nice expansion we're getting here soon. Okay, we can now make peace with the Javanese. We get this little bit. Okay, that's annoying. I thought it was not this whole area. I thought it was just this tiny little strip, but no, that's really ugly. Okay, I should have taken that instead of East Borneo, but whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna go conquer West Borneo and East Borneo from Banjar. Okay, I passed racial segregation. Very nice. That should solve our discrimination issues a little bit. I think that everyone should be able to work in government buildings now, because they should still be Tier 2 acceptance, but that shouldn't really matter, because now Tier 2 acceptance should have much less harsh penalties. Oh, wait, no, it still does this. Okay, no. Racial segregation isn't enough. We needed cultural exclusion. Okay, well, that's too bad. We'll go up to this government, I guess. We have a market liberal landowner, actually. We could go... I mean, I really want to pass some colonial affairs, but we just don't have the industrialist in government right now. Wow, this guy's so old. He's 79 years old, and he's still giving us our cautious. We love to see that. I think I'm going to start trying to pass freedom of conscience. We'll see how it goes. I hope that this doesn't make the church mad. Yeah, it doesn't make the church mad enough to give us the negative education access. This should be pretty good. Unfortunately, we're running a very big positive balance, so we do want to try to spend some government money so that we don't run such a huge positive balance if possible. Probably just want to build out some wood. Banjar is actually beating me? Wait, what? Oh, Qing joined the war. I was like, what? How is Banjar beating me when I saw this at first? But okay. Qing is in the war. We need to like land Banjar then if we want to have a chance at victory, and we also need to hold with all of the armies we've got. Darn Qing fleet here to stop us. We need to go escort convoys so that we're... Which one's least likely to... Yeah, raid convoys is least likely to get us having the offense, which is what we don't want to have happen. Bruh, the Chinese have such strong army. No, we're actually going to get occupied by the Chinese. No. So the front has spaghettied, and we now have this easy front we can push. They've 6 days, 3 days, 3. Yes, we pushed through. Okay, we've spaghettied the front back out of our capital, which is good. Definitely don't want to have our capital occupied. Okay, we've landed Banjar. Oh, there's China's their suzerain? You're kidding me. That's really annoying. We've occupied all of Banjar. Now we just need to occupy East Borneo and North Borneo, kick them out of this island, and we should be good. Yeah, we should be completely good after we can occupy this, which I think, yeah, we got it. Okay, now we're good. We've been getting really lucky with freedom of conscience. We've got 3 debates in a row that have increased our chance. Britain is finally going for a opium wars, except the Britain was way late, but okay. They're going for a Chinese treaty port. We could join on Britain's side, but they don't want us to join for anything, because I guess we're too weak for them. Like, yeah, we're getting minus 1,000, because I think we'd make no meaningful difference. What if we, like, max our conscripts? We actually don't have that many conscripts we can add, but we have a couple, I guess. Take a look at that. No, that they still don't believe in us whatsoever. So, Britain doesn't want us to join them. Okay, we'll have some fun beating up the Chinese. I wonder if the Chinese are in debt yet. They're not. We can't piece out of our war yet. So we're actually going to have to go till China hits capitulation desire, because Banjar is not accepting our peace deal. Okay, we passed freedom of conscience, which is going to be nice. That should mean that all these pops are going to start promoting in acceptance. Yep, they're all tier 3 now, which is very good. And I guess once their cultural community acceptance goes away, they should get to tier 4, which should be pretty huge. Tier 4 acceptance is so much better. They should no longer be having, huge wage problems or whatever, and they should be able to work in government buildings fully now, which is always great to see. We should have our construction sectors here hopefully starting to employ up now. It looks like they are having huge employment now that we got that freedom of conscience passed. Yeah, they're starting to employ up for real now. Maybe we'll finally be able to drain our 14 million investment pool. Okay, next tick, we should have China capitulate out of this war, and then, yeah, finally, no more war with China anymore. Nice. We have an opportunity to establish a defensive pact with France? Are you kidding me? That's insane. I kind of want to pass a laissez-faire here. Could we, like, exile... Oh, we've got a protectionist industrialist as well as a protectionist PB. That's really annoying. Let's check out if this lobby opportunity is enough to get a defensive pact with France. It is not enough. Dang. Apparently a big anti-French lobby, which is killing our ability to do that. How old is our ruler at this point? He's 81? That's insane. Having an 81. We have a 46% clout anti-French league. Yeah, okay, that's gonna be pretty tricky then. Apparently France is actually willing to form a defensive pact with us now if we offer them an obligation. I don't know what exactly has changed. That is a interesting offer, you know. I don't know what that would really help us out with, because I don't think anyone's likely to attack us, though, and I don't think that that would let us attack Siam, because they have a defensive pact with them, not just a guarantee or anything. So I don't think we're going to be doing that right now. It's like every single princely state versus India here. That's so many princely states going to war, and there's like 3 that are supporting India. The clash of the Benelux, Netherlands versus Belgium. Are any of these guys minor powers? I assume that these guys... Oh, Netherlands actually is a minor power. Can we get a subjugate on Netherlands here? No, the Netherlands hates us. What? Oh, wow. The Netherlands hates us. I did not think the Netherlands hated us. Right, Belgium's a great power? Okay, wow, that's a bit strange. We could actually take a Netherlands protectorate as a sway here. That would... Oh, but Prussia and USA are gonna side with Netherlands, so let's not do that, actually. Let's just focus on other things. I'm gonna exile the petite bourgeoisie protectionist, and then bring them back into government. But I just want to try to pass laissez-faire. You know, it's nice when you got a GDP somewhere in like the 30 to 40 million range. You can sometimes make sense to pass LF. It definitely makes sense once you're past 50 million. You know, getting that plus 100% government dividends reinvestment, even though your buildings will get privatized, it's like nice to get that extra reinvestment while they're government owned. And of course, you also get that capitalist investment pool contribution efficiency and minus loan interest rate. So laissez-faire is real nice. I built up a bunch of bureaucracy, which we're using to level up all of our institutions, because we do want to get rid of some penalties from turmoil which we're experiencing. We also want to get our literacy up, and of course, health system is always very essential to level up. I'm going to go build up some universities, because I do want to start getting our technology going a bit. We're currently researching steel frame buildings, and also I'm going to quickly invade Dynam. That will finish off our little thing in Vietnam, and then, you know, from there, we're going to have to decide when we want to fight France for Siam, or the AI will maybe consider unallying them. You know, that would be very convenient if the AI could simply unally Siam. Our ruler finally died. Unfortunate. That means... I think we had a Democrat at some point. Looks like we don't have our Democrat landowner or whatever. Oh yeah, he's a market liberal now. So we're not really going to get off of oligarchy too easily, but we might want to try to pass census suffrage or whatever after LF. I don't know if LF is going to pass successfully or not. We do have a setback and only 30% success to 32 stall, so it is a little bit close. Apparently there's a communist revolt going on in Britain. I thought that might be a French treaty port in Singapore for a second, but no, it's actually just a British. Can we take Johor? What are the odds of France joining against us here? France is negative 83, but Qing is negative 5? No way. Qing would join against us? I'm gonna go for Sambas. This one looks a little bit safe. I don't think there's anyone huge who wants to join against us for Sambas. You know, help us unify North Borneo. We can't go after Lanfang, unfortunately, because they are a Qing tributary, but we'll be able to go after Pontianak after this and stuff. So I just realized a bit of a problem with taking over Tonkin, which is we now have a border with China, which is a bit annoying for trying to take over Lanfang, because China's now just going to occupy Vietnam from us. And China's going to like support basically anyone we want to attack right now, which is a big problem. Hopefully they'll stop wanting to do that. Maybe we should start improving with China. Our relations are really bad though, so I don't think we can really improve them out of that. I'm going to exile the industrialist here, so we get a non-protectionist. Can we get these guys in government legitimately? Like, what? Oh, the petite bourgeoisie are our government leaders. Okay, can we do something like this? It's a bit unlegitimate. What if we put these guys back in? Yeah, okay. I guess we'll have to just do this. Because we do want to try to get laissez-faire passed here. Higher the success chance, the better. 22% stall isn't too bad. Please don't roll a setback. Okay, we finally passed laissez-faire. Very nice. That should help our reinvestment a lot, because from 57k, it should jump up like double that. Yeah, 96k temporarily. It's going to go down a ton, of course, after our building's privatized, but it's a nice little temporary thing. We can also go start deficit spending aggressively now, especially if we can become a great power, which we're fairly close to. We did hit it for a little bit, and then we fell back out of it, though. Maybe let's go colonial exploitation next. That would be a nice law to get through. Oh yeah, we did just get our first company. Or no, we got it from laissez-faire. We're researching next company, and then after that, steel frame. We've almost got enough tech progress on steel frame. What do we want as our first company here? You can just go the iron company. That seems fine. So I'm gonna expand our construction a little bit now that we've got laissez-faire passed. We do want to start deficit spending a little bit instead of having just like a pretty huge amount of gold reserves here. 5 million gold reserves is a bit excessive. Okay, we finished steel frame buildings. I think we probably want to start going for some more tier 2 techs, and then we want to eventually head towards malaria prevention so we can colonize some of this stuff over here in Southeast Asia a little bit faster, because a lot of stuff does have extreme malaria. I think the British are already colonizing over here. Yeah, they are. It's a little bit annoying, for sure. So there's New South Wales as well. Dang. We're gonna start swapping up to steel frame. Let's swap up Cambodia first. We just don't want to create too huge of shortages. Looks like glass. Okay, let's swap up to crystal glass. Also, we should have ceramics on. What's in our construction queue right now? Just a bunch of fishing wharves. There's not that many fishing wharves, so should be fine. Just put stuff at the bottom of the queue. In terms of peasants, looks like West Java will be a decent state. Or where do we have lead? That would probably be a good way to decide this. No, we have no peasants where we have lead. Okay. So yeah, we'll just build some glassworks over here in West Java, and then maybe some lead over here in West Borneo. We're running a really big positive balance right now, but our investment pool is about to run out of money, and after that happens, we should be running a negative balance. Although maybe we should even just be running more, but steel frame swapping up should cost us a bit more. Well, we just ran out of infamy, and every country we would reasonably want to attack, I'm pretty sure, is very likely to be supported by the Qing. So, we're just going to go for Lanfang, because this is the country the Qing actually protect. And we're going to try to fight Qing here. We'll see how it goes. I'm really hoping that they had a war goal that isn't just war apps, because if they have just war apps, this war is going to be almost impossible. Maybe with enough stuff we can win it, but like the Chinese have such a big army, 10,000 power projection is a lot. Yeah, their only war goal is war reparations, which is a big problem, because they're just gonna occupy our Vietnamese stuff, and that's just gonna enforce us out, isn't it? Yeah, that's gonna be tough. What do we even do about this? We just need, I mean, if they're only mobilizing like a little bit of their army, maybe we can just conscript up and win. We're gonna need to conscript up a lot, though. We do not usually use that many conscripts. We're gonna have to, though. It's time to, like, take off basically all of our decrees and start just, going for enlistment efforts everywhere so we can try our best to hold the line over there in Vietnam. Need all the conscripts we can get. And we're going to turn on general staff, so hopefully we'll have better recovery rates than the Chinese. As long as we can hold, should be fine, but I don't know if we can hold. Bruh, there's a Lanfeng civil war going on, so like, we need to stay on the defense so that we don't occupy them so they can finish up their civil war first. We're winning the first defensive battle in Vietnam. That's amazing. That's actually like just so good. But I really do not have too much hope that we're gonna be able to keep that going for too long. We'll see. Do we have any sulfur mine places that have peasants? We do. West Java actually is a sulfur mine. Let's build some sulfur mines there, and then explosive factories. Except we actually need ports, like top priority, so that we can supply our army and our economy. Well, we're losing battles in Vietnam now, so that's terrible. I mean, -20 is actually the best advantage I've seen so far, but that's still really bad. I guess I'm gonna invade Johor. We are out of infamy, so gotta declare for something, I guess. China is likely to intervene in this too, which would be annoying. I'm hoping that we're gonna win this naval battle, and then I wanted to try to naval invade into them. Looks like we might want to just naval invade into Lanfang now. That would be good. What? No, I wanted to nail invade with. Why do none of our arm? Wait. Oh, this bar is org. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to nail invade with an army that has org. So let's go. You nail invade Lanfang, and once we get into Lanfang, we're golden. With Lanfang secured, China will finally start capitulating. They are actually already capitulating faster than us due to their huge amount of casualties they've been farming in the Vietnam front, because we've been defending pretty well over there. Yeah, China's in this war too. Isn't ideal. We could actually try to go for war reps, but they do just have armies guarding all their strategic regions, although only 4 troops really isn't that much. I think it's not worth trying to go for war reps. We're just gonna try to win the war. Okay, we can now peace out of this war with China for conquer Lanfang. Is nice. That means we've united the Philippines plus Borneo now. I'm gonna go for Surakarta next. Looks like China's finally gotten enough neutrality. Oh yeah, they have truce now as well as plus 50 neutrality from being at war with us, so they're not too likely to intervene in us in another war against us, which is nice. The reason I'm not invading Java is because France started guaranteeing their independence again. Well, colonial exploitation is not passing well. Conquer Johor. Nice. I've tested it, and defensive pacts do stop you from joining against someone even if you guarantee their independence. So, we need one more acceptance in order to get a French defensive pact. Now, there's one... Oh, wait, actually, we need to just rival someone. I had some complex plan of conquering the Maldives and hoping that would give us counting as a land border, but we can actually just do one of their rivalries. So they rival, like, Spain, for example. So let's declare a rivalry with Spain. And I believe, yes, that gives us an extra 10 from shared rivals. So we can now get a defensive pact with the French. And we should be able to invade Java. And according to my tests, they should not be allowed to join against us because they're allied to us. Even though they're not allied, they're defensive pacted, but apparently that counts for this. So yeah, we're going to do a full annex on Java here, which is going to be pretty nice. We really need to pass the colonial thing, but we just keep failing it, unfortunately. Well, Java just backed down, which is very inconvenient for us, but I guess it's fine. Try to swap out these enlistment efforts for, like, you know, some actual growth decrees again, now that we don't really need to be enlisting our troops in our army anymore, and focus on some more useful decrees. Apparently we're running a furniture shortage right now. Over 75% price here on furniture is not ideal. I'm gonna invade Siam. I don't think the French are likely to send over enough troops to stop us. We'll see, but I'm hoping that they won't be, at least. We're gonna, of course, conquer all their states, and then if we have maneuvers left over, we'll try to conquer the subjects. Yeah, that's gonna be all their states, and it looks like that's all of our maneuvers. Alright. Mobilize everything. We really need to delete some of these armies. We've got a few too many. Yeah, we don't want to have this many armies. That should be good. Looks like that's as many as we can have, because we have too many generals to have less armies than this. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do our best. Looks like Aceh... Wait, why is Java... Oh, they got a secession. Okay, that makes sense. Why state got claimed? Hopefully the French won't send over enough to stop us. I doubt it. I doubt that they will. Seems unlikely, you know. Okay, the war's begun. I guess we'll start a naval invasion on their capital here. I don't think that the French AI is very likely to defend their capital, or defend their landing. Oh wow, what? Why do we have only one troop in this landing battle? What in the world happened? Ooh. Huh? What? Mathing. I'm so confused about what happened there. We'll try again, and hopefully this time we don't get 1 or 10% of our army in the battle. I have no clue. Okay, they just left the front now. Okay, that was so weird. They're going to this front soon. Well, we'll try to push it out as quickly as possible. Looks like this front here is undefended completely, which is weird. What is going on? I don't know. Oh, we have rapid advance on this army? Okay, let's use it and try to push through as much of these countries as we can. Gotta, try to do this. Okay, we've occupied the south a bit. No, we haven't occupied it fully, but we've gotten it away from the capital, at least. Now we're good. We just need to hold here, and we're gonna be good. Go defense on this front. Don't attack it for no reason. And we should just be solid. Next tick, Siam will be capitulating from this war. That'll be nice. We'll get their subjects as our subjects. Yep, there we go. We can create a power block. Yeah, in case you didn't know, you have to have them capitulate to get their subjects when you full annex. If you peace out, then you don't get their subjects. We'll be taking a trade league, I guess. Slav Empire is always nice, but we don't have monarchy, so we can't very easily establish a sovereign empire. We'd have to flip monarchy, which is a little bit annoying. Aceh Uprising hasn't actually won yet. Okay, I was going to try to declare on it. Bruh, France just got Java as a protectorate. That's very annoying. I'm gonna start trying to pass colonial exploitation again. I just hopped all the way up to steel frame. I don't know if that's a great idea, but it will be fine. It will be fine. It will be fine. Nothing could possibly go wrong. We're only in a 1300 glass shortage. That sounds fine. What could possibly be going wrong? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't worry. So, apparently our government is hyper illegitimate all of a sudden. I have no clue what changed. Oh, our industrialists are now radicals. Okay, let's exile the radical industrialist and then put them back in government. Because I do want to keep trying to pass colonial exploitation. It is going really well so far. Our balance is, not great. Also, we've been getting kind of unlucky with, colonial exploitation here. That looks like the least bad option. We got like a 50% chance of passing it every tick, though, so surely we'll get it soon. I guess our budget isn't that bad. It's only like negative 100k or negative 120k or whatever. That's not too bad, given we've got 90 million GDP. Okay, we finally actually passed colonial exploitation. Apparently Java maintains an interest in celebs, so we can't go for that. I guess we'll start trying to colonize New Guinea. You're getting, 5 years away from malaria prevention so far. Slowly trying to research it, along with probably multilateral alliances. I'm gonna start trying to pass proportional taxation. I wonder if there's any way to get the trade unionists in government. No, we got a market liberal landowner. Surely there's not going to be a way. Oh, actually, wait, this is actually kind of legitimate. Okay, we'll do this and try to pass proportional tax. West Java has passed Luzon in terms of GDP. I don't know how this or when this happened, but its population is lower, but it's got a much higher GDP per capita, I guess, due to better resources and stuff. I don't know. I guess it's also got 20% agricultural throughput, which I don't think Luzon has. Okay, where proportional taxation is through. I guess we'll start trying to enact wealth voting. That'll be a nice little improvement. We can start getting elections. Our GDP is, for some reason, really stuck near 100 million. Of course, we aren't 100% filling our construction queue all the time, but it's just seemingly staying very close to 100 million, and it has been for quite a while here. We've actually finally broken through the 100 million, which is nice. I think we're going to try to make a bigger army soon, because I do want to try to invade the British and France in Java, because those do seem like pretty important things to try to take. So unfortunately my audio cut out here for a little bit, so we got post-commentary Connor, but we're declaring on France for Java here. We're going to be conquering the entirety of the country of Java. This is a pretty tough war, because, France does have a bigger military and navy than us, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they had a bigger military and navy than us, like double the military or something, and like 50 boats compared to our like 20 boats I think we had. Even less actually. We have like 16 boats right now, I think. Hard for me to check. I'm not actually seeing this screen in full quality right now, but we're conscripting up and we're going to try to win this war. Of course, I know that we will end up winning this war, but he doesn't know that yet. It's really unfortunate my audio cut out at this pretty important time. Oh yeah, we're talking about Qing is getting pretty close to joining the play, but luckily they end up not joining the play. Japan does join the play though, which we end up conquering some of their stuff in the Pacific. I didn't really mean to do this. It's just got confusing because Javanese and Japanese look very similar in the text, and so I didn't realize that I was conquering Japanese stuff. So that was a little bit weird, but it doesn't matter too much, of course, because we do, I guess, want the stuff anyway, pretty much. What am I looking at here? I'm so confused. It looks like nothing's really happening, We'll go back to real recording Connor, who's going to be way further into this war, because that's when I realized this. So apparently I wasn't recording audio for a little bit there. Hopefully post-commentary Connor has saved the day. I don't believe in him very much, but hopefully he did a good job. I'm sure he did, what could possibly have gone wrong? Anyway, hopefully we're going to be getting into the Malaccas here. If Past Connor didn't explain it well enough, we really need to get into the Malaccas here, or else we die of sadness. Oh no, oh no. Please, no! The Navy gets there right in time to stop us. Very big sad. Um, yeah, we cannot fight that naval battle. They have way too good of stats, unfortunately. Okay. Um, we're gonna try to, like, fake naval invade Japan, I guess. I don't know. We gotta do something until their navy... Okay, their navy's abandoned. So we can, I guess, cancel our fake naval invasion of Japan and go back for the Moluccas. Gotta get this right, please. Another set of fleets came. We left and we're coming back. A 99 French army stack has come. Why would you do this to me? So, yeah, that's not very cool that the French are just stationing a 100 stack in the Indonesia HQ now. I don't really know how to win this. We're going to try to land the Sahara, and we're going to hope that that convinces the French to stop garrisoning 100 troops there. Yeah, this is not convincing the French AI to abandon having their 100 garrison in Java, unfortunately. That's so annoying. Bruh. Okay, I'm kind of a little bit lucky here. We're trying to get a land connection over to Western New Guinea, because I'm hoping that if we get a land connection to Western New Guinea, um, via colonization here, then hopefully that will finally get this 80 stack off, because you just have this active front here, and literally they just aren't assigning to it. This is insane. We're gonna try to send this army back so that we can get ready to land once that front appears. It's gonna be a while till that front appears, though. Even if the next colonization target is the correct tile, it's still gonna be probably like a year or something. Okay, we're starting the colonization. It's 40 days or so. Hopefully the next province will be the correct one. There's like a 1 in 2 chance maybe. It'll either be this one or this one probably, right? Oh, we got it. Let's go. So in just a little bit, we're going to finish our colony going into Eastern New Guinea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a naval invasion to the Moluccas. And that's going to be pretty useful, I think. Should get in just a little bit after this. We're going to see what happens to the garrison after this. We actually might want to stop our landing for a little bit. No. Let's see what happens when we don't stop the landing. Yeah, okay. It looks like they are still sending over all but one troop. So we should be able to get in, I think, before they can push out the other front. We should be able to push out here and retake this. Yes, 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 yes. There's one more battle after this. Come on. Yes, yes, we're into the Moluccas. Yes, finally. It took a while, but we can finally enforce, I believe. Nope, the French don't quite want peace yet, nor do the Japanese. But soon, but soon. I just realized there's a front here where they can try to untake the Moluccas, but it doesn't matter. Okay, we get our peace deal. Okay. Then we get banned slavery enforced on us by Belgium, and we take all the Japanese and French colonies. Nice. This is some of the weirdest Australia I've ever seen. The capital of Australia is in Tasmania. Their highest GDP state is the North Island of New Zealand, followed by South Australia, then Tasmania, then the South Island. This is so weird. We know Western Australia somewhere in there. And then New South Wales is like way down here. It's so weird. I'm also thinking about the fact that we actually like can't do this all in one war, because I'm realizing we need to take this from Portugal and we need to take this from Australia, which means we're gonna need to liberate Australia as a war goal. But that's gonna mean we need to occupy Australia, which that's not happening, I don't think. So I kind of did want to invade the UK, but I'm like incredibly out of time for this video, and I've already delayed. So we're going to have to just, invade Burma, and I think that's going to be where we have to call it, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that real quick. Burma, it is time for you to disappear. Okay, Burma, your time has come, Burma. Finally, the war with Burma is coming to a close. You can incorporate these states. Apparently we're not researching a tech. Okay. Whatever. Can we annex these guys? Are they supporting each other? Not. There's no three-way support we can use to annex them super easily. This guy has 75% chance of accepting, actually. Bruh, he didn't. That's annoying. How dare he not? All I wanted was an easy annexation, bro. Okay, now that war's done, we're gonna declare on Chiang Mai, and that should call in the other one, which you can just annex real easily, and that'll be pretty good. Mobilize, and these guys should be donezo. And that's gonna be our borders complete. You know, it'd be nice to take stuff from the British, but I do not have the time for that. Oh, just no finishing colonization of Sulawesi. Big sad. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna be ending off here. I managed to get 128 million GDP, which is pretty solid. 56 million population. We would have colonized Sulawesi and stuff if we just had a bit more time, but I am out of time. Let's see, cultures. I assume all this stuff's gonna be normal because we didn't manage to go multiculturalism or anything. Yeah, everything here looks completely normal, except I guess maybe this being Sunni is a little bit weird instead of flipping Catholic. I think we have some Catholic, yeah, we have significant Catholic populations on some of the Vietnamese provinces, specifically Annam. Everywhere else, I assume, has fairly little because we got cultural or we got freedom of conscience by the time we got those stuff for the most part. Yeah, all this stuff doesn't have too many Catholics. Anything else we needed to look at? Literacy graph over time is a little bit interesting. And see, incorporating, I think this is like Vietnam here was like a huge drop in our literacy. I don't think that we had enough pops in Borneo for that to be Borneo, right? And then we also had some smaller drops for incorporating Java later on in that, I think. This is what the world map looks like in this game. You can see we sticked fully into Southeast Asia and a tiny bit of Oceania, such as Hawaii and stuff. So yeah, that's when you're ending off the video. Goodbye!